My beloved child, I know that waiting is wearing down your heart. I see the impatience in your eyes, the unspoken questions hanging heavy through the long, endless nights. Silently you ask, Lord, when? But right now, I want you to pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and listen to my words. Your waiting is not a waste. It is the invisible hand I am using to mold your soul, shaping it to become stronger, deeper, and ready for the miracles you have not even dared to dream of. Do not rush away. Even in these very first moments, I want you to know, if you are in a season of waiting, this is not a sign that I have forgotten you. On the contrary, it is clear evidence that I am investing in you something far greater than what you are asking for. Every tear that falls is not in vain. Every time you stand at a crossroads and still choose to trust, a quiet miracle is unfolding within your heart. Within these first 30 seconds, let me whisper to you, your waiting has a purpose, and that purpose is greater than temporary comfort. It is the journey I am leading you on to prepare you for a life where blessings do not make you proud, victories do not cause you to lose your way, and love never fades. Stay with me. Listen to everything I want to say, because my word today could change the way you walk through these weary days and turn them into steps that lead straight into glory. My beloved child, in every moment when you think I am silent, I am quietly clearing the way for something far better than you could ever imagine. Do not let the delay steal your faith. My timing is different from yours. In your limited view, waiting seems like loss, like delay. But in my eternal wisdom, every passing moment has a purpose. I am not slow as humans understand slowness. I am patient because I love you, because I am preparing something for you that is worthy of the beauty I see in your soul. You have longed for quick answers, swift solutions, immediate change. I have heard those prayers, those cries in the dark. But my child, true love does not indulge every impatient demand. True love sees farther, sees the eternal value that perseverance creates. Sometimes, learning to be patient, learning to wait in faith, is the greatest miracle I perform in your life. I know that waiting wearies your soul. I know there are days when simply standing firm is the bravest act you can offer. Do not take that lightly. I remember every time you choose to trust, every time you decide to take one more step, even when your limbs are trembling. That enduring faith shines in eternity like precious jewels, reflecting the light of a love that never gives up. If I answered your every request immediately, you would receive what you want, but your soul would not grow. Yet I love your soul enough to wait with you, to build a foundation alongside you that no storm can shake. I love you too much to merely offer you temporary comfort. I love you with a love too vast not to lead you into fullness. Look, do you remember when you were little, how a parent might deny a small candy to prepare a grander feast? You might have pouted then, but true love always looks beyond immediate hunger. So do I. In my infinite love, I do not refuse to hurt you, but to bring you something far better. There are times I see your heart swinging between two extremes, wanting to trust yet pulled by fear. That does not disappoint me. On the contrary, every time you choose to grip my hand despite your fear, I smile. I see in you a tender but mighty bravery, a courage not measured by victories outside, but by the quiet faithfulness in the unseen battles within. My beloved child, I do not measure you by the successes you achieve or the number of times you fall. I look into your eyes when you lift them toward me, into your honest tears, into your faint but sincere whispers. I do not require you to understand every reason behind every pain. I simply invite you to believe that even when everything seems broken, my hands are holding every shattered piece and rearranging them into a new masterpiece. More beautiful, deeper, more glorious. Waiting does not delay my blessings. It only enlarges your soul to receive something greater. If I gave blessings when your soul was still immature, those blessings could become a burden. But when I shape you through patience, when I nurture faith roots in the silent soil, then when the harvest comes, you will be strong enough not only to receive, but to keep and bear fruit from those blessings. The sleepless nights you endure, the moments you sit still before nameless fears, I see them all. Not a single moment passes that I take my eyes off you. Not a single sigh escapes unnoticed by my heart. And in each seemingly useless moment, I am whispering new life into your soul, lighting a flame that will never be extinguished. You may not see the fruit today. Your dreams may still be shrouded by the clouds of disappointment, but I have sown, I have watered, and the harvest is certain. Do not let what you see with your eyes steal your faith in what I have promised. I am not a man that I should lie. Every promise I have given you is more certain than the stars in the sky. You may ask, but Lord, I am weary, I am too late, I have made too many mistakes. And I answer, my beloved, it is precisely in your weariness that I will renew you. It is precisely when you feel delayed that I will restore you. It is precisely through your mistakes that I will reveal the power of my redemption. Do not condemn yourself for not seeing results yet. A farmer does not dig up his seeds after every rain to check if they have sprouted. He trusts that the crops are growing silently. You must do the same. Trust that even in the darkness, life is emerging. On days when you are exhausted, I will be your strength. In moments when you are lost, I will be your compass. When you feel like no one understands you, know that I do, more deeply than words can express. Let me be your refuge, your first and last breath each day. When the noise of the world fades away, you will hear my voice whisper in your heart. Do not be afraid. I am here. I have never left, and I will never leave you. Your waiting is not an empty space. It is fertile ground where faith takes root. It is the secret room where your soul is shaped, not by haste, but by my patient, loving hand. And one day, you will see that the darkest days were actually the most beautiful. For those were the days your soul learned to love me, not for what I give, but for who I am. Not for the miracles, but for the miracle maker. My beloved child, be patient a little longer. Hold tightly to my hand for one more day, one more hour, one more moment. For if you hold on to me, you are already holding the victory that the world can never steal. My beloved child, when I refine you through the long days of waiting, I am not merely changing what surrounds you. Above all, I am changing you from within. There are changes happening so silently that you do not realize them immediately. Just as the winds quietly sculpt massive cliffs over time, I am silently molding your soul into the form I intended for you before the foundations of the earth were laid. In every tear that falls, an old pride is washed away. In every sigh, a new spark of faith is kindled. In every time you fall yet choose to rise again, a deeper layer of trust is formed. This is not the kind of change the world sees and praises. It is the change that I see within the heart, where only you and I know. Do you remember Abraham, my beloved child? He waited a lifetime for the promise I gave him of a son. He walked through seasons where the promise seemed dead, through years when his hands lost their strength, through days when faith was nothing more than a fragile thread fluttering in the wind. Yet it was in that waiting that Abraham's faith became a torch that lights the generations to come. Or remember Joseph, who was sold into slavery, falsely accused and forgotten in prison. The grand dreams I planted in that young man seemed completely at odds with the harsh reality he faced. Yet, day after day, in the darkness of the dungeon, year after year of seeming hopelessness, I was quietly preparing Joseph to become the deliverer of a nation. Without those dark years, Joseph's heart would not have been large enough to forgive, strong enough to rule, or tender enough to shepherd the multitudes. And remember David, the shepherd boy anointed as king, yet who had to spend long years fleeing, hiding in caves, living amidst danger and betrayal. Had I placed the crown upon his head when he was still naive, Israel would never have known a king after my own heart. But in the caves, in loneliness, in tears, and in seeming despair, David learned patience, compassion, and reverence for me, things no throne could ever bestow. You see, waiting is not just the time I use to prepare the gift for you. It is the time I use to prepare you for the gift. An unrefined heart cannot bear the weight of the glory I have destined. A soul that has not learned to trust in darkness cannot stand firm in the blinding light. Do not think I have forgotten you when you must wait longer than expected. It is within the delay that I am writing a greater story, a deeper victory, a life with eternal weight. Do not measure my love by the speed you desire. Measure my love by the perseverance I have placed in your heart, by the opportunities I give you to become more like me. Every time you stand at a crossroads, unsure which way to go, do not be afraid. I never leave you to decide alone. I walk with you, whispering into your soul advice that never forces, but is strong enough to guide. If you close your eyes and surrender your need to control everything, you will feel that gentle breeze, that whisper of mine, that invitation to trust. Sometimes I allow you to walk in uncertainty, not to make life difficult, but to teach you that the light within you is stronger than what your eyes can see. That light does not come from accumulated knowledge, but from the deep bond between you and me, a bond that cannot be broken by circumstances, failures, or fear. My beloved child, allow me to carve this truth deeply into your heart. You do not need to know all the answers to keep moving forward. You only need to know me. You do not need to understand every twist and turn of your journey. You only need to hold my hand. And in that simplicity, you will find a freedom that the world can neither give nor take away. There will be days when you walk with the faith of a lion. There will also be days when you drag yourself forward, step by heavy step. In both kinds of days, I am there, unchanging, unmovable. Your victory does not lie in consistent emotions, but in persistent endurance. Do not let delay embitter your soul. Let it become the sweet water that nourishes the roots of patience. Do not let unfulfilled dreams cause you to doubt my goodness. Let them become the living proof that I am weaving the very best for your soul. Even when you see no outward change, believe that every honest prayer, every tear of endurance, every weary sob is being used by me to build a miracle unseen to human eyes. Just as a seed sprouts beneath the ground before it breaks through the hardened soil into the light, so your life is being shaped. Do not judge life by sight alone. In every season of waiting, I invite you to place your faith not in time, not in circumstances, but in me. When everything around you shakes, cling to this truth. I do not change. My love for you does not fade. The promises I speak never return void. My beloved child, I am training your soul to soar, not just to crawl upon the earth. I am teaching you to live not by fleeting emotions, but by eternal truth. I am preparing you so that when blessings come, they will not blind you, but cause you to bow down and worship the giver more than the gift itself. Believe that every second of waiting is not wasted. It is like the silent heartbeat beneath the frozen ground of winter, preparing for the glorious bloom of spring. Without winter, there can be no spring. Without tears, there can be no complete joy. Without the hidden battles, there can be no glorious crown. And one day, when the light breaks forth, when the promises are fulfilled, you will look back and exclaim, "O Lord, truly you have done wondrous things beyond all that my heart ever desired." My beloved child, let me tell you something about tears. They are never in vain. In this world, people often hide their tears as a sign of weakness. But in my kingdom, tears are gathered like precious pearls, placed into a holy vessel. Every tear you shed because of faith, every time you cry while holding on to the promise I gave you, every sob because of your love for me amid adversity, becomes golden threads woven into the crown of glory reserved just for you. I have seen the nights when you buried your face in your pillow, choking on disappointment. I have heard the words you couldn't utter aloud, the cries for help that only echoed within your heart. I was present in every one of those moments, not with judgment, but with silent comfort. Because I know, those who know pain yet still love, who experience loss yet still hope, who face failure yet still rise, are the most precious souls to me. There have been times you asked, "Lord, why must I suffer so much?" And I answered with my very presence, because there are pains where explanations would only cheapen them, but only my presence and my love can truly heal. I do not stand outside your pain. I step into it. I bear it on my shoulders. I transform it into the very place where my love shines brightest. Do you remember the last time you felt deep peace? It did not come when everything was perfect. It came when you had nothing left but me. When you let go of the need to control, when you surrendered in the storm, then peace flooded in like living water rushing through a parched soul. That is exactly what I'm inviting you into, a peace not dependent on circumstances, a joy not swayed by seasons, a love that does not demand proof. In the seasons of waiting, when everything around you calls you to give up, I quietly whisper, "Hold on to me." Just that. No need for perfect plans, no need to understand every step ahead. Just hold on to me. Because when you hold on to me, you are holding on to life itself, onto truth, onto eternity. I know there are days you feel like you are moving backward instead of forward, days when faith feels like a fragile thread about to snap. But even on those days, you have never been outside my arms. You don't know this, but it is precisely in those dark days that your deepest roots have taken hold. It is in those moments you thought you failed that your soul grew the most. Look back over the years. How much you have changed, not because of the achievements you earned, but because your heart has become softer before me. Your eyes see the world with more compassion. Your hands have learned to lift others as I have lifted you. Without the stumbling, how could you know the sweetness of forgiveness? Without the long seasons of waiting, how could you understand the value of a single answered prayer? Without the long, lonely nights, how could you grasp the meaning of my quiet, eternal presence? My beloved child, I do not love you because you succeed. I love you even in your failure. I do not love you because you always believe steadfastly. I love you even when your faith is just a trembling mustard seed. My love for you is not based on your consistency, but on my own unchanging nature. And so I promise you that every tear you have shed in faith will be turned into laughter. Every pain you have patiently endured will be exchanged for a crown of glory. Everything you lost out of loyalty will be repaid to you many times over, not only in this temporary life, but in eternity, where all suffering will cease and every tear will be wiped away by my own hand. Imagine a day when all battles are over, when all waiting seasons are closed. You will stand before me, and I will look into your eyes, smile and say, "You kept the faith. You finished the race. Come, enter into the eternal joy I have prepared for you." On that day, every sacrifice, every tear, every moment you chose to trust me without understanding will become sparkling jewels in your crown of glory. But even before that day, even right now, I want you to live as one who has already won. Not because everything is perfect, but because I, the one who has overcome the world, live inside of you. Not waiting to see the miracle before praising me, but praising me now, even when the ground looks dry, so that your faith may turn the wasteland into a garden. Step into each day with the confidence that every step you take, every word you speak, every small decision made in love and faith is building something eternal. Do not measure a day by what you accomplish. Measure it by how much you loved me, trusted me, and allowed me to shape you a little more. You don't have to wait until things get easy to rejoice. You can rejoice right now in the difficulty, because I am there. You can sing in the desert, because my living springs are bursting forth inside your soul. You can lift your head high even when the world tries to weigh you down, because your name is engraved on my hand, and no force can erase it. My beloved child, I do not promise a journey without trials, but I promise that my love will be a wall of fire surrounding you. I do not promise you will never fall, but I promise that each time you fall, I will be there, reaching out my hand, lifting you higher, stronger, gentler, and steadier. Do not let the accusations of the world make you forget your true identity. You are not a product of failure. You are a product of grace. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are an heir of an unshakable kingdom. So walk with bold trust. Love without fear. Give without counting the cost. Forgive without limit. Hope without wavering. Because this is how the children of the kingdom live, and you are one of them. Remember, my love does not just stay with you in good times. It covers you even more in your moments of weakness. Let that love be your cloak, your helmet, your shoes, your shield. Wherever you go, in whatever season you walk through, I will never leave you. When you feel alone, remember I am stepping beside you. When you feel misunderstood, remember I understand you better than anyone ever could. When you are weary, lean into me. When you don't know what to say, just whisper, "Lord, help me," and I will hear. My beloved child, your waiting is not in vain. Your faithfulness is not forgotten. Your silent sacrifices are not overlooked. All are recorded in the book of life. All are counted in the unshakable kingdom. Therefore I invite you today, keep going. Persevere, trust, walk, live as one who is loved, chosen, and redeemed. And remember, my beloved, I have never left you. I never will. I loved you before time began. I love you today. I will love you forever. You may grow weary, but I never grow weary of you. You may lose heart, but I will never ever lose heart for you. You may forget me for a moment, but I will never forget you for even a single heartbeat. My beloved child, rise up, take a deep breath, look up. Because the best things I have prepared for you are still ahead, and I will walk with you every step of the way until that day. Amen. My beloved child, after all that I have shared with you, I want you to know this. Your waiting is not a dead end. It is the road, even the highway, leading to the destiny I have engraved for your soul before time began. Do not let weariness steal away your faith. Do not let delay blur the image of me in your heart. Every step you have taken, every sigh you have uttered, every prayer you have lifted, all are being woven by me into a story more wondrous than anything you could ever imagine. And that story is not yet finished. It is continuing, line by line, day by day, under my loving hand. Therefore, when you stand before the storm, when dreams seem out of reach, when your heart wants to give up, remember this. I did not call you merely to wait. I called you to grow, to soar, to receive the crown of glory. Every moment of waiting today will turn into laughter tomorrow. Every tear you shed now will be wiped away by my own hand. Hold firm to your faith. Keep walking with courage, even when your legs tremble. Love me not only when the promise is fulfilled, but even when the promise remains unfinished. Because loving me in the midst of waiting is the highest act of a redeemed soul. And when that day comes, the day I fling open the gates of heaven and pour out upon your life everything I have promised, you will look back and see. Every moment of waiting was worth it. You will realize that I was there in every moment. I held your hand, wept with you, rejoiced with you, and loved you to the very end. My beloved child, your waiting has a purpose, and I, the one who began the good work in you, will complete it. Not early, not late, but right on time according to heaven's perfect schedule. Keep believing, keep moving forward, because the best is still waiting for you ahead. Amen.